Hi everybody, my name is David Rees. Because I'm not a celebrity, I'll just take a moment to explain my bona fides, which is a literary term. Unlike all of you people, and certainly unlike them, I'm a little bit different in that I actually don't live in New York City. I live in the lower Hudson River Valley, in a town called Beacon. I decided not to clip my fingernails for this debate in violation of my personal debate preparation protocol. Just to show you that I literally have dirt under my fingernails from laboring in my vegetable garden this summer. And what this means is that I enjoy a certain hardscrabble authenticity that you Manhattanites pay through the nose for. Basically, the buzz that you get from wandering through the Union Square farmers market. I'm living it every day, okay? It's a bit off topic, but yesterday I realized there are literally birds living inside my rotting porch, okay? But that's not what we're here to talk about. Birds versus porches, that debate must wait for another night. The issue at hand, of course, is books versus movies. And I have to tell you that I did no preparation for this because, frankly, I find the debate so absurd as to border on the offensive. And I was inspired while watching Troll 2, Brooke's celebration of the finest of the cinematic arts. And spoiler alert, later tonight they're going to try to blow your mind by referring to movies as cinema. But it put me in mind of a classic verse from W.B. Yeats, who is a poet, which is a word for someone who writes poetry, or poems. William Butler Yeats, of course, the immortal Irish poet and mystic. He wrote books. And he said, when you are old and gray and full of sleep and nodding by the fire, take down this book and slowly read, and dream of the soft look your eyes had once, and of their shadows deep. It's lovely, isn't it? Now, tell me what you think of this. When you're old and gray and full of sleep and nodding by the fire, take down this DVD of Big Mama's House. And marvel at the absolute wreckage your life has become. I'm not a fan of movies, okay? I mean, I'll just put it all out there. I'm not a fan of movies. I see them obsessively, but they always disappoint me. And the only thing I hate more than movies is sports, which makes me think that I should make a sports analogy. Upstate, I'm sure you have it in the city, you're familiar with the concept of basketball. Well, in basketball, two opposing teams of 5 players each compete to literally put a ball in a basket. Okay? But they also, in addition to these 5 players, you have what's known as the bench, which are the other players that can be summoned at a moment's notice to fulfill the duties of players who have taken to injury or hard drug use or lethargy or depression or malaise or all these things that come in the lifestyle of movies. Now, when we compare movies to books, we have to consider not only the stars of each media, but the bench. And ladies and gentlemen, the bench for books is fucking crushing. The bench for, how long have movies been around? Like 80 years. Like literally, it's like, and how long have they been in color? Like 30 years, okay? How long have books been around? When were the first Vedic Hindu texts published? It was 5000 BC, okay? So you know, we've got the bench. You can take your top 5 movies of all time. Like, what's your favorite movie of all time? Brazil, by Terry Gilliam. Didn't that blow your mind when you were 13 years old? All right, I'll carry it out with the book. Fuck it. Ever heard about 1984 by George motherfucking Orwell? Boom! That one's out. What do you think is the greatest movie of all time? Blade Runner by Ridley Scott, a dystopian future. Robots might be humans, humans might be robots. What does the origami unicorn mean? Who gives a fuck? If you want to know the answer, read the original book by Philip K. Dick. God damn! Alright, you. Favorite movie of all time. The best that the cinema has to offer. What is it?
Princess Bride.
Which do you like more? The book, she says. She screams it from the rooftop. Guys, what I'm saying is, for any great movie, there have been like 10 amazing movies, right? I mean, obviously Troll 2, we put that in the highest title. Nothing can touch that, I understand. But everything you just said about movies, hey, have you ever gotten frisky reading a book? I've literally read 50 Shades of Grey. Okay? When I support books, I support all the books. They're all God's children in my eyes. Okay? I don't play favorites. I read them all. 50 Shades of Grey. I'm reading the new Dan Brown. Okay? You were saying earlier, you can't read more than...
Wait. Don't use my own words against me.
All I want to say is, for all you people whose brains are frazzled and fried from your addiction to movies, there is a best-selling author named Dan Brown. And the great thing about Dan Brown, who wrote the Da Vinci Code, and Angels and Demons, and his new book, Inferno, which is inspired by a book known as Dante's Inferno. You want to talk about wheels within wheels? This is like some Borges shit right here I'm dropping on you. The great thing about Dan Brown is each chapter is 2 pages long. So even if you have no attention span, you can still feel like a smarty pants. Because you're like, I read a whole chapter of a big thick book. Alright, let's do one more book to movie comparison. What's the best movie ever made? Your favorite movie? Give me the best. Stump me.
Seventh Seal.
The Seventh Seal, about two sad sacks playing a long game of chess that has something to do with death. Let's see. Can I come up with a book that is heavier than the Seventh Seal? I don't know, the Bible? Either Testament. We'll beat you with one Testament tied behind our back. Pick your Testament, we'll still crush you. The Seventh Seal's boring, come on. Right? Who said it is?
I did.
You did? What's your favorite movie of all time?
Midnight Cowboy.
Midnight Cowboy! Speaking of soundtracks, I'll admit that has a good soundtrack. I actually own it on vinyl. Okay? Not to brag, but first pressing, Midnight Cowboy, right? Can I come up with a book that has the psychosexual tension and repressed homoerotic desire of Midnight Cowboy? I think the collected works of Sigmund Freud will do, actually published as books. Thank you.